Yes. I think we're recording.
I love it. We are.
Hey, tribe. Hey, you guys. Hey, Jill. Look, somebody's on the line with me. Miss Jill. You guys, I brought my friend, my beautiful friend, Jill. Do you want me to say your whole last name, or you can tell?
You can say it.
How do you like to be presented?
My name is Jill Smart.
There we go.
Lisa.
And she is smart. So we don't need the Potter Smart in. Okay. So she is a brilliant coach. She's a friend of mine. She's going through the Ascension Leadership Academy with at the same time I am. And she and I are brainstorming because we're going to be working together. And as a matter of fact, if I can get enough of you people into my program in January, she's going to be the assistant coach. So it'll be a lot of fun. You get to meet her at the retreat and everything. But I wanted to start having some conversations with Jill because she's so brilliant. She's so connected and on fire. She's an amazing leader. She's really committed. And somebody brought up to me today in my email about urgency, what I spoke into. And that was that, well, if you really are spiritual and you know that time doesn't really exist, then all you need to do is be and just be part of your feminine flow and just allow things to happen. Now, I get that, right? But I don't fully agree with that because we're still on the human plane. So, Jill, I want to ask you, this is really fun because we're just going to have our authentic conversation like we're having girlfriend tea for you guys. It's only going to be a few minutes, but please watch because if you have issues around urgency, as a matter of fact, I'm asking Jill right now on camera if she would join me for a couple more topics over the next week or two, addressing these objections that we have about investing in ourselves, right?
100%, yes.
Love you. I need it. We're a team. So anyway, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being here so much because I love you and I have so much fun with you. And you're so Jill, when we speak about the word urgency, what comes to mind for you? Just speak into that.
Well, it's interesting because urgency comes in a lot of different forms. There's different levels of urgency in life.
Yeah.
But I think when you're referring to urgency with what you're doing here, with what you're looking at, when you want to move forward in your life, when you're looking for your next best step, what's next for you? Do you want that best life? Are you at where you want to be? Are you reaching those goals? Are you moving towards what you want in your life? Yes, there is some urgency involved. We all think, all right, well, if I'm just open to the universe and I put it out there, it's going to deliver back to me. And believe me, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not doing this in jest, but
I know.
I've worked with so many people who say, well, I put it out there. I'm just waiting. It's supposed to come back to me. But you actually have to have some urgency and move in that direction. Now, is the universe going to deliver you back exactly what you put out there? No, you have to be open and willing to accept what comes back to you and work with that. But you have to be taking steps in that direction to move yourself in that direction. You just can't sit on your laurels, sit on your sofa and say, well, it's just going to come to me. It's just going to happen. I'm just going to be, and it's going to happen. That doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen because the universe expects you to make movement towards that piece. So that's what the urgency is. What are you doing? What are you doing in your business? Are you having conversations? Are you being enrolling? And I don't mean being enrolling. Are you selling? Are you being enrolling? Are you having constructive conversations with people? And that doesn't matter what you're coaching, what your business is, at all. Are you engaging people? Because remember, no matter what your business is, true leaders, true successful business people are about building relationships. So you have to have that urgency in building those relationships every single day. So the more you sit down and say, well, it's just going to come to me. It's not coming to me. It's not coming to you. Sorry, it's just not. So
I love that.
Start that.
That's right. I love that. I love your fire because I did that. It's like, oh, I'm a Pisces and I'm a creative and an art, sensitive, and I'm going to align every day in center. And I do that anyway, because that's what we need to do as well, because we're spiritual and, mind, body, spirit. But yeah, I always talked about there are days I'd love to go sit on a mountaintop and meditate, right? And do nothing else. Just enjoy the trees and, look at the ocean or whatever we're going to do. But, and I'm not a born again Christian, but there is, I love to use Jesus because Jesus is an ascended master. And the whole deal was that, we don't sit around just saying that we're great or aligning with spirit or saying how spiritual we are. We're actually out among the people and we're empowering people. We're helping people. We're supporting people. So, that's part of the urgency as well, connecting to, let's talk about vision, because, you know, Jill, if you don't have a vision and you're bored and you're stuck, like a lot of people, right? I get calls all the time, and I'm sure you do too. It's like, I don't know, I know I'm being called, but I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what I'm passionate about. So if you don't have that and you don't have urgency, doesn't that create a life of being stuck, bored, frustrated? What are your thoughts on that?
It does. It 100% does, because I love this topic. I love talking about this because I was in that spot. I was in that spot back in December of 2012. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm up. How much more up am I supposed to be? I'm now 49 years old. Yeah. And so I had a conversation with my trainer at the time. I'm like, I don't know what I'm passionate about. I really don't. He's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to help people, but not doing what I was doing then. I was a nurse. Right. And so by putting that piece out there, number one, I put it out there to the universe, like I just talked about before, but I also took steps in the right direction to manifest what happened in my life. So you have to have a vision. You absolutely have to have the vision, and you have to be so clear about not what you want to do. It's not defining exactly what you want to do, but it's defining your purpose. What is your purpose in life? So if that's helping people, great. If that's managing people's finances or their books, great. Then start to build your pieces around that, but figure out your purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, if you're sitting here saying, oh my God, I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life, then you need to take the steps to figure that out.
Yeah.
You need to figure that out. And I will tell you, we're surrounded by 55 people in an amazing experience. Some who said, I don't know what I want to do with the rest of my life. You have to figure that out. And if you keep saying, well, it's just going to come to me, it's not going to come to you. You got to take the steps to do it. And not read a book. Reading books is great, but it is not going to get you to that piece. You've got to be active and do it actively.
See, and I love that, because also, you and I are committed to our journey. Like a lot of people are. It's like you never stop growing. If you're not getting help and you don't have accountability, and you don't have a group or support or mentor or coach, you're probably going to fail, because most people do. I did for years and years and years, and I did a lot of programs, but I thought I could do it on my own. So that's my first piece around that. Second of all, it's kind of like, if you're not committed to your journey, if you're not going to invest in your journey, you're going to fail, because you have to be committed. You can buy cars, you can buy houses, you can go on trips, you can do all that kind of stuff, buy new clothes. It makes you feel good for, half a second, right? Then you have guilt about spending the money, but it doesn't help you from an inner space. It doesn't help you get clear. It doesn't help you find your why, your what. So that's super important too. But I want you to talk into also, like, I know a lot of people think that urgency when you're coaching is about selling, like you had mentioned earlier, which it is not. We're not even in selling. We're actually enrolling people in their visions and their why and what it is they want to get to. That's why we're here. And coaching is not easy. So we're not in this business because it's an easy dollar. That's not the way it works, right? We're dedicated to helping people. But talk into, if you can, about, which I know you can, I know you have lots of things you can talk into, about how we have today, right now. We don't know how much time we have. So talk about urgency in that respect, please.
Yeah, I want to back up 2 seconds.
You go wherever you want to go.
To what you just said before about, there is no such thing as a do-it-yourself transformation program. Not happening. In no book, no. You know what? Transformation is investment in yourself. So you can sit and look at the price of a program and say, oh my God, I don't have that kind of money. Well, you know what? But you just went to Starbucks this morning. Right. You're driving a Mercedes, and you're having your nails done, and you just watch your Louis Vuitton or whatever. So don't tell me that's no. This is an investment in you. This is an investment in you. So as you're looking at this, yes, there's urgency to figure out what you want to do. How much do you want this? And yeah, when I started coaching, I remember very clearly the first conversation I had with my mentor. I was standing in my backyard in Wisconsin, pacing back and forth, and I said, I don't know where you expect me to enroll my first client from, because I don't know anybody that's going to pay to coach with me. I have no idea. And she's like, Jill, your clients are not going to come from where you live. And believe me, they weren't going to come from where I live, because nobody was going to. I live in a tiny little You know,
Wisconsin.
yes, tiny little town in Wisconsin. And so it, you know, your clients are going to be from all over the world, all over the world. And had I have not enrolled in that conversation and that belief that I had that within me, and I do, I have clients in Iceland, the UK, Spain, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, all over. I have coached 2 people personally that I know. Yeah. And everybody else has been, you know, virtual. Amazing clients, amazing people. So it's about deciding what you want and then going for it. And you have to get past those barriers of, my God, I'm selling. You are not selling. You are not selling. And you know what? It's about, do you believe in what you're doing? Does it resonate with you? Does it truly resonate? Because if it doesn't resonate you can talk all you want. You are not going to enroll a single person. You have to believe from your heart. And I'm going to just get caveat off here for a second, Lisa, because when I first was faced with the conversation of you're going to need to enroll people, I was like, oh no, I don't sell. I don't sell.
Yeah.
And when I started doing it, I was working off a script. And I realized it was just about telling my story. It was just about telling my story. And someday I'll share my story with you. It's a wild, crazy story. But it was about telling my story. And when people heard the emotion and the things that came through from me, that's when they're like, I'm so in. I'm so all in. I'm so all in. And it's about also, you know, taking the time to stop and listen. Ask questions. You know, enrolling means you allow the other person to talk. It's not just about you always talking, and this is not selling, but it's telling your story, letting it soak in and resonate, and then closing your mouth and letting them speak. Yeah. Letting them speak, period. It's that simple.
Yes. Awesome. So yeah, it's all powerful stuff. And that's why people that are wanting to come on as clients have to understand what we do again is enrolling. We're trying to enroll them. Our vision is to enroll them in their vision, in their why, in their what it is they want to get to. And I know you might have had the same experience as I did. Like I said, I spent tens of thousands of dollars on programs and Qigong and certification and going to Minneapolis to work with my master and this, that, and everything else. And I know that all those little steps got me to where I was finally able to take the bigger step. But when I ran into my coach and I heard what I had to pay monthly, I had a cow. I mean, I literally started to cry. And we all have this self-value conversation because we don't value ourselves at all, right? We focus out on everybody else. We don't take care of ourselves. We put ourselves last. So the whole thing is that if you can't get to your why, you can't get to your vision, you can't get to your what while you're here on the planet, then you're not going to be happy when you go out. You're going to leave your life with regrets, and you're never going to have served your purpose. The world will have missed your brilliance and your magnificence. The world needs you. So we are actually working on helping you get into that. So that's why we're coaches, not because we want to get rich and famous, and some do, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we're here to actually support you in becoming your best self ever. And the urgency piece that I was talking into Jill again also was that, remember I was just telling you about somebody wrote to me today, an email, in response to my email about how if you're spiritual and time doesn't really exist, and we're here now. You and I were just talking too. I was telling you about like Eckhart Tolle, right? It's like, you know, be here now. Well, that's great. But Eckhart has a business and he runs retreats and he does things. So sure as heck he has people, you know, organizing, taking action, making steps. He has to create programs. I mean, that doesn't all happen from sitting on a mountaintop going, right? And so all we have is this moment. We don't know if we have tomorrow, right?
You know what? It's so true. And I love that you just said that, because I was just thinking about it's like we're on the same page, because and I happen to have the books, and I love this guy.
Oh, I have those too.
And you know what? This is awesome. Chris Lee. And one of the things that he talks about in this book is the fact that, you know, you need to live from a place of realizing that every day is a gift. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. We are not guaranteed. So every morning when you get up, you have a choice. Do you lay in bed with the covers up over your head and say, oh my God, I can't believe I have to get up today. I'm going to stay in my bed. It's so cold outside. Or you can jump out of bed and say, yes, it's another day. I get another day. I can walk across the floor to the bathroom. I have a roof over my head, food on the table. You know, I'm living my passion, living what I want to do every single day. And when you are living in your passion zone, what happens is you open yourself up for abundance because you're doing what you love every single day. When you're doing what you love, and you're affecting people's lives and giving of yourself and giving back, the prosperity piece just comes and opens up. And I know I get this. I get this so much because I left a life in Wisconsin. I moved to California. I now live in the San Diego area, started all over. And for the first year and a half, I literally surviving. I said, I'm surviving. I have a roof over my head. I'm surviving. And I am now living every day. And right now, I just left my company. I'm starting my own business. And I know. And I had a 10-minute scarcity conversation that I just like snapped out of my head, and all of a sudden doors started opening. So when you make a decision to change your attitude about what you're doing, when you decide to take control of your life and live in your passion zone and do what you love every single day, you know, that's when all of the rest is going to fall into place and all of this stuff is going to come to you. I've had a fabulous work today. I've gotten more done today, and I've had a great work day. You know, it was at Starbucks earlier, and now it's for my living room couch. You know, I don't punch a clock anymore.
Life. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Like I went to San Diego yesterday. I met you at the graduation for ALA, and you know, I'm going to a 3-day zone event, and then I'm leaving for Hawaii next Tuesday for my mastermind. I'm doing my coaching calls from there. You can do it from anywhere in the world, but if you don't, see, you and I have been on the journey with it. People want the magic pill. There's no magic pill. So every step you take, even if it's a baby step, it's creating new habits you have to practice, or you don't, you know, what does it say? They used to say 21 days to learning a new habit. And I just read that it's 66 days, 21 days minimum. So that means practicing, right, every day for a couple of months to start creating a new habit. So if you don't ever take that step, if you don't even ever take the risk or the chance and step into it and start the journey and start moving forward, like Jill, you said, you know, you had that scarcity conversation for 10 minutes, but that didn't come that's been over time. You've been working on that because you're committed to your journey. And so you were able to start shifting that in a bigger way. And that's the whole point. Once you step in and you urgently and committedly work on your life, these things start to shift as you start moving forward, but you've got to jump in. I had the same story you did. I mean, I spent tens of thousands of dollars, 20,000 with a program with these people I mentored with. I moved to Malibu. I spent my life savings. You know, I was doing coaching, and it's like everything that the shit hit the fan because they left. We were betrayed. A lot of things happened. I had to go back to San Diego, live as a roommate after having several houses there. And my daughter also roomed with me as well. And I had nothing. So that's when I had to get my coach. That's when I hired a coach, and I didn't have the money to hire the coach. Yeah. I trusted that God was bringing me to the right place, and that's what I did. I started moving forward. I invested in myself, and I have never given up since. And that's how, like you, we're able to do what it is that we do, and we get to expand it because we took the chance. We said, oh, what the heck? We're here. We're being called. We're not going to sit around and be miserable and bored and depressed. We're going to do something about it.
Yeah. I would, as we move forward together with this little venture, for any of your clients and whatnot, at some point, I'd love to share my story because it's just a crazy story.
I want you to. I'm actually getting into storytelling as well. Most of them know my crazy story too.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear about yours, and we could actually hear about some of the clients in the group too as well. I think we're going to make storytelling a piece of that. There's so many pieces I want to do, and 8 months isn't long enough to do it. But I think we're going to hit a lot of things. It's all important, but again, urgency.
What, you have to ask yourself, what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? You know what? Are you walking through life with this hole here, thinking, if I just get to this, I'll be happy. If I just get here, I'll be happy. If I just get to this, no, it's never going to come if you're living that way. This is never going to fill up if you're living that way. You need to get up every day and live from a place of joy, abundance, gratitude, grace, all of this. And that's going to close this up, and it's going to make your life full and make you the most effective person in your life that you could ever imagine that you could be. Stop waiting. start taking action. And, you know, if you're on the fence and you're like, I just don't know if I can make this happen. You know what? If you want it bad enough, if you want a better life, if you want to live the life of your dreams, if you want to work from your patio, whatever, then you have to take action. You can't keep putting it off. How much longer are you going to put your life on hold?
How much more life do you have? Nobody
exactly.
knows.
We don't know. We don't know. And so you need to get up every day and say, today's my day. I'm grabbing it. I'm taking it. I'm running with it. I'm going with it.
Yeah, baby. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And push through the fear. Everybody has fear. Nobody doesn't have fear ever. There, you know, when you up level, you do things you're afraid of doing. You push through and you do it anyway. And then when you push through, you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. I did it. And each time it gets easier. So it's a matter of, you know, pushing through the fear, creating urgency. You know, I just talked to a woman this morning. She's been stuck for 7 years. I'm like, you want to be stuck for another 7? Let's get going, right? So, yeah, we have a lot to talk about, girlfriend. We really do, and I'm really excited about this, but I want people to start getting this. I want them to hear your perspective. I want them to hear truth. I want them to feel comfortable with us, since we'll be leading everything, and I want people to start showing up for their lives in a big way and creating urgency around it. So,
you know what? Here it is. Here's the hand. It's reaching out to you. It's take a hold. Take a hold. It's all yours.
I got you. And you got me. I love that. All right. Well, I want to, you know, everybody, I just want to thank Jill because, I mean, I just kind of randomly grabbed her. Hey, Jill, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm here. That's who she is. She's a leader, and she shows up, and she supports me, and I support her, and we support you fully. So we're going to be posting these messages as often as we need to. Also, if you guys have any questions for Jill and I, please, you know, email me and we can address those as well, because I think we can really shed some light on helping you move forward. Absolutely. So Jill, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to show up. This is so awesome. You know how much I love you.
I know. I love you too. I love it. I love it.
Me too. So any last words before we go?
You know, for all of those of you who are sitting on the fence, and maybe you're watching us and you're thinking, I really want this. I really, really want this. You know what? There was a day in my life back in, it was end of 2013, and somebody reached out to me. Somebody reached out to me and said, you know what? I have this spot. And I'm like, I want it. I want it. Taking that spot made the difference in my life. It was life altering. So realize that every opportunity is brought to you for a reason. You have the choice to let it go, or you have the choice to take it and change your life. So you're watching this video for a reason. And to turn it down means that you're choosing to live in mediocrity. Stop living in mediocrity. Take control of your life. Stop settling. Go for what you want and have the bigger life. You can absolutely have it.
Doesn't get any better than that. That's the magic pill, right? Shows up, you grab it, you step in your power. That's the magic pill.
Yep.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you for that. All right, my love, I'm going to say goodbye for now. We will be doing this more often. I'm going to let you go so you can go do whatever you were doing before. Thank you for your incredible love and your inspiration, your support. Always. I love you so much.
My pleasure. All of Lisa's clients, I want to see you.
You think? 2-day retreat, live, fun, intense.
So much fun.
Yeah, come on. You want to miss Jill and I, really? You really don't. You really don't. Or maybe you do, but I don't think you do. Okay, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye now.